I recently shared a short video of how I sewed the Seamwork Easton jacket. It turned out so well, today I'm sharing the full sewing process. This is a fully lined quilted jacket with a shawl collar and snap front closure. I made this version using a wool chambray from Rex Fabrics, which made a beautiful neutral outer fabric, and I lined it with 100% cotton. For this video, I used cotton fabrics for both the outer and the lining and viscose for the sleeve lining. I have chosen to omit the bias binding and instead top stitched the entire outer edge of the garment. This saved a lot of time for that final finish. If you're looking for a beginner-friendly quilting experience, this is the perfect pattern. Let's get started. Here is the right side of my front piece, and I'm going to start marking the lines for the quilting. I'm going to be using the simple recommended line drawings from the pattern instructions. I'll start by using the grain line of my front piece as my first line. Just transferring that straight line top to bottom along the front piece. From this line, I'll continue marking lines, spacing them 3 inches apart. Now I have each of my quilting lines ready on the right side of my front piece. I've cut a piece of batting larger than the pattern piece, and I'll place it underneath my fabric. And I'll pin it in place all around to make sure it's secured to the batting. Now I'm ready to take it to my machine and sew right on top of my drawn lines. After I sew directly on top of the lines, I'll baste around the perimeter all the way around. Now that this piece is quilted and basted around the edges, I can trim off the excess batting all the way around. I'll remove all of my pins and give this piece a good press. Note that as you're pressing, if you're pressing on the batting side, make sure that you use a pressing cloth or a piece of scrap material so that you don't scorch the batting. Repeat the exact same process to create your opposite front bodice piece. For the right side of your sleeve, once again, you can choose any quilting pattern that you like. I'm going to be loosely following the pattern's illustration, so I'll start my lines from the bottom of the sleeve and space them toward the top, once again 3 inches apart. I'll place the wrong side of my sleeve piece onto my batting and pin in place. Just as with the previous piece, I'm going to sew right on top of my drawn lines, then I'll baste around the entire perimeter. Trim the batting, remove the pins, and give this piece a good press. Repeat to create both sleeves. Before we quilt the back piece, place both pieces right sides together along the center back seam and pin. Sew the center back seam from top to bottom with a 5/8 inch seam allowance and press the seam open. I'll draw vertical lines 3 inches apart onto the right side of the fabric. Now that I have my lines, I'll place the wrong side of the fabric onto my batting, pin in place. Sew the lines, baste the edges, trim the batting, and press. Here are both of my front pieces, and we're going to stay stitch these indented corners. I'm going to draw myself a stitching line about 1 inch away from the corner on both sides. This sewing guide will be at 5/8 of an inch. Now that I have this stitching guide at 5/8 of an inch, I'll sew right on top to reinforce these inner corners. I've repeated the same process to mark stitching lines onto my lapel facing pieces, and I'll stitch in place. Place your lapel facing piece right sides together with its corresponding front lining piece and pin in place matching the notches. Repeat for the opposite set of lapel facing and front lining pieces. Sew these seams with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Clip into the curves of these pieces. Then press these seams open. Place these pieces right sides together and pin the center back of the neckline. Sew with a 5/8 inch seam allowance and press the seam open. I'm going to place my back lining pieces right sides together along the center back seam and pin and sew at a 5/8 inch seam allowance. And then press that seam open all as we did for the main back pieces. Now we can place our front and back lining pieces right sides together along the shoulder seams. Before we pin those shoulder seams, we're going to clip to that inner corner of our stay stitching for this front facing piece, clipping from that corner to the point of the stay stitching. Repeating on both sides. Now that we've opened up the fabric in that area, we can pin from the outer edge of the shoulder seam to the point of the stay stitching on both sides. Now we'll sew both shoulder seams from the outer edge to the tip of that previous stay stitching, back stitching to secure. Now that those shoulder seams are sewn, I'll turn the top of the front facing toward me so that I can place the remainder of that back neckline right sides together. Align the center back seams and pin in place. Close this gap, sewing once again from that point in our earlier stay stitching straight across to the opposite point with the same 5/8 inch seam allowance, back stitching at both the start and stopping stitching points. Now I'll clip into the curves of the back neckline and press all of these seams open. Repeat all of these steps for the front and back main pieces, starting by placing those top edges right sides together and sewing these front pieces together along that top neckline with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now with that seam pressed open, remembering to use a pressing cloth if you're pressing on the batting side, place your front and back pieces right sides together along the shoulder seams. Snip into those inner corners to the tip of the stay stitching. Then pin your shoulder seams. Sew with a 5/8 inch seam allowance, once again sewing from the outer edge to the tips of the stay stitching as before, back stitching to secure. Once the shoulder seams are sewn, place the back neckline right sides together and pin this gap closed. Then start and stop your stitching in the center area from where you ended your stitching previously, back stitching to secure with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Clip into the seam allowance along the back neckline as before and press these seams open. Place each of your sleeves right sides together with their corresponding armhole and pin in place. Sew from one end to the other with a 5/8 inch seam allowance, press the seam open and repeat for the opposite sleeve. Place the front and back pieces right sides together and pin the entire seam from the bottom of the jacket to the bottom of the sleeve. Then sew this seam with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Clip into the curves and then press the seam open. Repeat the entire process to add your lining sleeves to your lining. I'll note that for my sleeve lining pieces, I'm using a more slippery fabric, one that will more easily pull over a sweater or long sleeves. I'll pin in place for both sleeves, right sides together, and sew this seam at 5/8, press the seam open. Now that the sleeves are attached, just as we did for the main pieces, we're going to place these front and back lining pieces right sides together along the side seam and underarm and pin in place. Sew this seam once again at a 5/8 inch seam allowance, clip into those curves at the underarm, and then press the seam open. If you would like to finish the entire outer edges of your project with bias binding, you could follow the pattern instructions for the rest of the process. I'm choosing to sew my pieces right sides together for a clean finish all around the outside without the need for bias binding. So I'll place my lining and the main pieces right sides together and pin the entirety of the outer edges. Now with both sleeve sets nested inside in between this main and lining set, I'm going to sew around the entire perimeter of the jacket, leaving a gap somewhere along the bottom of about 2.5 to 3 inches for turning, sewing with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now we can turn the entire jacket right side out through the opening in our stitches. I'll quickly reach back in through the opening and pull out those bottom corners so I can trim the corners. This way we'll get a nicer point at the bottom of the jacket. To finish the bottom edges of the sleeve, I'm going to push my lining into the main sleeve. Once the lining is inside, make sure that the underarm seam of the lining and the underarm seam of the main sleeve are completely aligned. Then pin the seam together at the bottom of the sleeve. Now through the opening in the bottom of the jacket, I'm going to reach inside between the 2 layers of the sleeve, and I'm going to pinch the bottom of the seam together with the hand that's inside the jacket, and pull it out through the bottom of the jacket. Now I have access to the bottoms of the sleeve lining and main pieces at the point that I've pinned them together. Making sure that the seam doesn't move, I'm going to tuck the edges of the fabric together so that they're right sides together, just folding them downward. Now I have those edges of fabric right sides together, I'm going to reach in between and pin them in place. Continuing to pin the bottoms of the sleeves right side together all the way around. Now the bottom edges of the sleeve are right sides together, I'm going to sew this seam all the way around with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Pull the entire sleeve back out through the outside of the jacket. Now you have a clean finish to the bottom of the sleeve and you can give them a press. Repeat for both sleeves. Now to finish the remaining edges all the way around, I'm going to top stitch with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I've pressed my edges all the way around, and as I press the bottom edges where the lining meets the edge of the coat, I favored the lining to the inside of the jacket so that you can see a little bit of the main fabric on the inside. This way, from the outside, the lining will not be visible. And our top stitching is going to close the gap in the fabric. I've transferred the snap markings from the pattern piece onto the right side of my right front jacket piece. Now I'll apply my snaps on this side. And repeat on the other side of the jacket, aligning the snaps. And now the quilted jacket is complete. Thank you for watching this sew along. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future sewing tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.